House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Hello, everyone. This is Ashley Adams. Welcome to House of Cards. We're going to have a great guest. His name is Andy Uyal. He's written a fascinating account of his journey from being a blackjack dealer to being an advantage blackjack player. The book is called The Blackjack Insiders, How Two Pit Bosses Beat the Casinos at Their Own Game. We're going to be talking with him, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code SPICE404.
They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Well, don't take it too hard. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, too.
Stupid? What do you mean, stupid?
Hello, everyone. This is Ashley. Welcome back. You're listening to House of Cards. We are here with a guy who has a great story to tell, a story that he has told in a book. His name is Andrew Uyal. He's written The Blackjack Insiders, and it is a story of his, I would call it an adventure, both as a person from the industry, as a blackjack dealer, and then as an advantage player, a card counter playing blackjack for a living. We're going to talk to him about that journey. Are you there, Andrew?
I'm here, Ashley. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate you joining us. I realize, as you told me off the air, that you have been up all night working, doing the swing shift, as you do. Tell our listeners, first of all, a little of your background that got you into the journey of becoming a professional blackjack player. What's the backstory before you started this adventure?
Well, the backstory is I was in gaming in a small town in Mesquite at a locals casino, and they were testing our skills and seeing where we were at with our basic strategy and stuff like that. I was a supervisor already by this time. And my test came back higher than it was expected to, being young and being kind of new to the business back then. And it just kind of steamrolled into deeper conversations with my shift manager, who I call Mark in the book. And he offered one day to kind of work with me and teach me how to count cards. And it just kind of kept growing and growing.
And it grew to the point that you first supplemented your night job. I was going to say day job, but it was really night job. And then It replaced it entirely, correct?
It did, yeah. It started with us just playing kind of on our days off, on our weekends, and when we could take PTO every once in a while, some paid time off, both by the company and by the other casinos we were playing at. And we both made our exit from the casino industry within a few months of each other, and took our act on the road and supplemented our jobs entirely.
What I found interesting, and it was not really the focus of your book, is that this is kind of like a buddy story as well as being a blackjack story. I mean, tell us a little bit about what it was like to have a mentor who really believed in you, as opposed to pit bosses and management people who didn't really have much faith in you.
It was kind of a buddy story. That makes me happy that you saw that Mark was a lot more than just my shift manager, which he started out as, but then he kind of became my mentor, and then we became business partners, and we were really good friends. And as the support system there is something that you can't really say enough about. And a lot of players play on their own, and they don't have an opportunity to have somebody like that. And it's when you're losing and when you're out there traveling and just putting yourself through a really hard time, it's nice to have somebody that supports you and to kind of back you up and remind you that you're better than the game, and that you're in this together and all of that. It's really nice to have somebody like that.
Now, interestingly, unlike a lot of the more popular stories that the public might be familiar with, you were not part of a blackjack team. You and he occasionally would be at the same table, but for the most part, you really did play the game, at least alone, even though he was your support system, so to speak, right?
Right, yeah. Our partnership was based more of combining the bankroll than actually playing together on the same table and doing a lot of the tactics that we've heard about with the big player and all that stuff. It was more about combining our resources to be able to play more than we would be able to on our own. But we did sort of dabble in the team play too, if we happened to be in the same area and stuff. That was always really fun to do as well.
Did you ever think about the possibility of joining one of the teams? I mean, you do mention that there are still some teams that are out there. Did that ever appeal to you?
It crossed our minds, both of us, but we were sort of disconnected from that community. That's part of, I think, the charm of this book, is that we didn't have the MIT connections, and we didn't have the big investors and all these connections that you hear about in a lot of the other stories, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but I think part of the charm is that we were just two guys that really had we were on our own. We didn't have We didn't have investors. We didn't have mentors. We didn't have teammates all over the place. All that stuff's great to have, but it was just really cool to be able to go through all that on our own and just kind of make it our own thing.
I seem to recall that there was a point in your story when you were accused of being part of the Harvard team. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
The Harvard count team I was accused of being a part of. Somebody in I don't remember which casino, but I was in the South somewhere. Used some of my insider information to get a note from one of my friends that I'd been pegged as a member of the Harvard count team, and that was something we had a lot of fun with. We would use the acronym HCT for a lot of different things while we were moving forward and doing different things. It was pretty funny.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Poker fans!
You're listening to House of Cards.
Welcome back, listeners. This is Ashley Adams. You're listening to House of Cards. Just for people that just tuned in, I'm talking with Andy Uyal, who has written a wonderful account of being a professional blackjack player in a new book called The Blackjack Insiders. Of all the places you went, and your stories are great, by the way, I just want to say as an aside, I loved following your journeys because I've been to all of the places you mentioned. I've played poker, if they have poker, at least I knew about. Of them all, were there one or two places that if you could go back to this life and you weren't risking being banned, that you would really enjoy playing in again? Any places stick out?
A few places stick out. Probably like the best games, EV-wise, where we could generate the most EV was Seattle. We both had a lot of success up there EV-wise. As far as him and I making our memories together, we both had a lot of fun in the deep South. We took a trip down there together. It was just a blast, especially towards the end. And then probably the most fun I ever had playing single deck by myself was in Wendover, where they have the single deck 3-2s, and it was a blast playing in that little city, trying to pick them apart for a few days at a time.
I want you to talk a little bit about something that it really surprised me, and that is that when you were working in the industry, you had. You don't date the story, and I was trying to figure out when all this stuff took place, but it's relatively contemporary. You had supervisors who did not seem to be scientific in their understanding of the wins and losses of the game. They believed in things like putting in a cooler, a dealer who was going to ruin somebody's luck. They believed in superstitious stuff. Tell us a little bit about that, because I was shocked to see that anybody still believes in that kind of stuff, like old school stuff. But you report that you kind of got into trouble because you went against their way of looking at the gambling world.
That makes me happy that's shocking to you. That means that maybe it's not so bad everywhere, but it it's something that's still out there a lot, and it's something that's kind of a hot topic of mine, something that I talk about a lot on blogs and lectures and other things, is superstitions, on both sides of the table, right? You see it with the players, players always talk about coolers and hot dealers and things like that, but you see it on the other side of the table too. We talk about it in the book with our new regime that came in and had this kind of crazy mentality about, I call it voodoo gaming, where they think they can change up the dealer or throw pennies under the table or whatever it might be. And it's something that's still out there in alarming fashion. There's too much of it going on out there, and it's something that we fought really hard against in the Heat and in some other places that I've been, and sometimes it's really tough to overcome because the perception is so strong that these things really work, and it's really hard to overcome that.
Well, because of that, I was surprised at some of the things that you write about your own behavior. And I want you to talk about how an advantage player still doesn't quite have complete faith in the math of your advantage. And by that I mean you were really affected by the ups and downs, even though maybe intellectually you seem to know that over time you're going to have a certain advantage, it will play out eventually, but the ups and downs really seem to get to you. Could you talk about why and how that was so?
I think part of it had to do with how young I was and how new I was to everything. And I had a lot of high variance, a lot of positive variance right away. So the winning was just incredible. Like I'd never experienced anything like it. And then conversely, when I took the big losing streak that I talk about in the book, which by the way I don't think gets talked about enough, is how much it can affect you. I know a lot of guys maybe aren't as affected by it, but it can be really, really, it can shake you. It can. And I wouldn't say that my confidence was shaken so much in the math of the game, but it was shaken in myself. Like I needed reassurance that I was playing the game right and that I was making the right decisions. I knew that the math of the game was right, but I was sort of second guessing my own skills, I guess, which is, it's not good to second guess yourself, but it's also good to reassure yourself and, re-practice. That's what Mark and I did. We ran more shoes, we practiced, we tested each other out to make sure that we were still on the same page. And that's another thing. It's good reason why we had a partner. We had somebody to kind of get us through that and I did it for him later on in the book too.
Right.
When the confidence, when your confidence shakes like that, it can be really tough.
Well, it was clear that it was really tough because you both gave up on this dream of sorts after about a year. And by the way, I read a lot of the literature in the gambling world, and it is unusual. It was really rare for people to go out, even as successful advantage players, and continue to do it for more than a year. Even a year is a long time. And while there probably are people that aren't writing about it that are successful, your experience to me shows how hard it is. So this is what I wanted to know, a couple of facts. You never talked about, at least I didn't see, what mathematical advantage you believed you had over the house, playing, of course, perfect basic strategy and the plus-minus system that you adopted, given the reasonable deck penetration that you would face in most of your casinos. What was the range of advantage that you could plot out over time that you believed you had over the casino?
Well, our bankroll kind of fluctuated. Like it started off really small and it grows, quite a few times throughout the book. So that kind of changes a lot. But toward the end, we were looking at we were generating, give or take, $100 an hour in EV.
Listeners, we're going to cut away. We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards Gaming Report for the week of November 18th, 2019. A federal judge in Buffalo, New York has ruled that the Seneca Nation has to pay the state casino revenue the tribe has been withholding since 2016. The judge ruled that the tribe has to abide by an arbitration ruling and pay the state $255 million in accordance with a 2002 agreement. The Seneca Nation has argued that the 2002 agreement did not specify that revenue would be shared after 2016. A ceremony was held in Pennsylvania for the groundbreaking of the Keystone State's first mini casino. The casino, located in Westmoreland County, will have 750 slot machines and 30 table games. The project will cost $150 million and create 500 permanent jobs once the casino is complete in late 2020. And finally, it looks like San Jose Sharks forward Evander Kane could owe a little money to a casino. Last week, the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas filed a lawsuit claiming that Kane had not paid $500,000 in gambling markers that the casino extended to him last April. The casino alleges that the markers came in 8 installments, each between $20,000 and $100,000. By the way, don't feel bad for Kane. He just signed a 7-year contract with the Sharks for $49 million. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check out our website at houseofcardsradio.com.
Welcome back, listeners. This is Ashley Adams. You're listening to House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19. That's DRINK 19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Just for people that just tuned in, I'm talking with Andrew Uyal, who has written a wonderful account of being a professional blackjack player in a new book called The Blackjack Insiders. Yeah, but that's good to know, $100 an hour. But what I'm really asking is, if you talk to the Wizard of Odds, the guy that plots out what the mathematical advantage is of a casino game over the player, he'll tell you that Caribbean Stud is a 4.2% advantage game, and craps, different bets are anywhere from 0.5% to, well, some of the hot bets, 20% advantage over the players. Sure. Similarly, although inversely, if you have an advantage as a player, even without looking at your hourly rate, you can predict what percentage and EV advantage you have over the house, right? I mean, you would say, well, right, our system, our method of counting gives us a 1.2% or a 3% if there's 35, percent penetrate, whatever. You could figure out the percentage. Did you ever do that? By running 1 million hands, for example, using your counting system against the rules of a particular casino?
Yeah, we did, and we had a pretty accurate record-keeping software where we could see those kinds of numbers. But we played kind of a lot of different game types, but I would say we averaged right around that just above 1% range that you were talking about.
Yes, and that's what I thought. That's what I've heard from other counters. And my observation on that is a really small amount. I mean, if you were to play green chip green chip blackjack, right, $25 bets, how many hands an hour, if you could, the risk, if you go through $100,000 an hour of bets, you're only going to be earning $1,000 if you're perfect.
That's correct. So the the house advantage is tricky that way, right? So 1% is a real small number, but if you think about it from the other side, the average blackjack game maybe has a 1% advantage over the players, and they seem to be doing okay. So it's amazing how much a 1% advantage can do for you.
Yes, but they have sometimes 10, 15, 20 games going at once, and you're just relying on one game. If they had to try to build their profit with just one game dropping 1%, that would be a tough thing to do. So what caused you to stop? What caused you to say, all right, you know what, I'm going to go get a straight job again?
I didn't get into this too much in the book, but we kind of had a plan. We wanted to save up some money, and we wanted to start a business. We wanted to get into real estate investment. And because some things kind of didn't go as planned, we didn't end up doing that. But the plan was to only do it for a certain amount of time and then kind of move on with our lives, whether it be to the business that we wanted to start. He had some things he wanted to do with continuing his education, and I wanted to move to Vegas. The separation, the divorce that I talk about in my book, caused my family to kind of split up, and I needed to move to Vegas away from Mesquite. And so that was kind of always the plan. It wasn't that, we were just devastated and couldn't do it anymore. It was, we were up against the timetable that we had set. And that last month happened to be the time when we did take a big loss, but we ended up, kind of making everything back in time and getting the hero's farewell that we thought we deserved.
Yes. For listeners who have not read the book, it's a wonderful read. It's not just technically interesting. It's also personally interesting to see the way that you develop as a human being in partnership with somebody and then on your own, how you face your struggles. It's really enriching as a story. I just wanted to ask, we have about a minute left. Have you gone back to the tables as a player in the last few years, or have you stayed away?
I haven't really played since I started writing the book, but as far as the timeline goes, since the book ends, I did play some after that, and I had a few different stints actually after the ending of the book.
What year are we talking about when this all took place?
I believe the book ends in chronologically it ends in late 2013.
I thought it might
and
be
I think
that
between then and 2015 or so, I made some runs in between there.
So is your son that you write about, and maybe you disguise the gender as well, is your child of age now to start thinking of playing illicitly or not?
He's 11.
Oh, okay. That's a little young. Still a little young to try to sneak into a casino.
So we're not quite there.
When he gets to be 18, do you think you'll teach him about perfect strategy and how to count?
We haven't gotten into the counting yet. That's something that I've thought about. Now, I'll be anxious to see him read the book when he gets a little bit older and see if it interests him. But we have played blackjack. I taught him how to play because I think it was kind of an interesting way to add numbers together when he was a little younger to make it a little more fun. So
Cool.
We have done that, and he enjoyed that.
Cool. Well, it would be interesting to know if you and he ever decide to play for pennies. What that
put a
would
little
be like.
side bankroll together with him.
Right. There you go. Well, very nice talking with you, Andrew. Are you thinking of writing another book, or do you think this is pretty much it?
I actually have written another book. It's a fiction, and it hasn't been edited or anything yet, but it's kind of in the works. We'll see if anything happens with it. I got some other projects I'm working on too, so we'll see.
Well, I wish you well. It's a great book, The Blackjack Insiders by Andrew Uyal, How Two Pit Bosses Beat the Casinos at Their Own Game. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it too.
Okay. Listeners, that was Andrew Uyal, the author of The Blackjack Insiders, How Two Pit Bosses Beat the Casinos at Their Own Game. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with another guest. Stay tuned. When it comes to online sports betting, PlaySugarHouse.com offers players one of the best experiences in the state of New Jersey. PlaySugarHouse.com offers millions of betting options on the sports you love. They offer live in-game betting on sporting events worldwide. Moneyline bets, point spreads, prop bets, play-by-play bets, and many more, all at PlaySugarHouse.com, your new home for sports betting in New Jersey. Take advantage of one of their 12 easy deposit methods to get in on all the action. And now, when you sign up at PlaySugarHouse.com using our promo code HOUSE, that's HOUSE, they'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Sign up today at PlaySugarHouse.com and don't forget to use our promo code HOUSE, HOUSE, to take advantage of their first deposit match up to $250. Hey, it's Ashley from House of Cards. You've been hearing me talk about MyPillow and the benefits of using it to get a good night's sleep. Now, not only can you pick up the special deal for 4 MyPillows when you use our promo code CARDS, but now you can get $100 off your purchase of the MyPillow mattress. The MyPillow mattress comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-day money-back guarantee. The MyPillow mattress is made up of 3 unique layers, providing you the comfort and support to fall asleep and stay asleep all night. Just head on over to MyPillow.com, click on the MyPillow mattress link, and enter promo code CARDS at checkout to get $100 off your order. Or call 1-800-319-7913 to order by phone. That's MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Listeners, we're going to cut away. We'll be back after a quick break.
House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code
SPICE404.
They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more.
Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. No. 5-1. No. 10-1. You're on.
And welcome back to House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. Recently, I was fortunate to attend the Sports Betting USA conference put on by Clarion Gaming on November 5th and the 6th in New York City. Not only did I go, our executive producer, Doug Weishaupt, also went.
Well, first of all, it's kind of odd for me to be on this side of the mic for House of Cards. I co-host Turnpike Sports with you, but I'm very rarely on the mic for House of Cards here. And it's a weird feeling, to be honest with you. All right, this past week we had the opportunity, thanks to our partnership with Clarion Gaming, to attend the Sports Betting USA conference in New York City.
Oh, boy, that was great.
Great location, too.
Great location, great speakers, great panels. It's everything you ever wanted to know about sports betting, the economics behind it, what's going to happen coming up next in the coming year. There's a lot more states going online and opening up sports books, and Clarion Gaming always gives us the great conferences to tell you what's going on in the future.
I have to admit, it's one of the more highly focused conferences out there.
It is.
Very, very, very well done panels. Very intriguing content that they have there.
I think, like I said, it's everything that someone in the sports betting business or someone getting into the sports betting business would need to know. And I think it's some of the most impressive people in the business. They have some of the top leaders in the business. I mean, we read what's happening in the sports betting world, and they actually have the people making news in the sports betting world at these conferences. So great job, Clarion, as always.
And a great location,
New York City.
New York City, across the street from the Intrepid Museum.
Yes, right on the waterfront.
I've never been to that area, so it was actually really cool to see that. And we have some footage up on the TV side of everything here, so check all that out when you get a chance. Again, thanks to Clarion Gaming, Dan Stone, everybody over there. Great job. Looking forward to seeing them at some of the other events next year.
I know the next one is May 13th and 14th
that's
in New Orleans.
That's Ice North America.
Ice North America.
They got a big one in February. Ice UK, their Ice UK stuff, London 2020. So that's one of their big ones too.
Sure.
But they've been doing great work, and hope to continue the partnership with them.
House of Cards is brought to you by PointsBet. Football is back, and the only place you need to go for all your college and pro betting action is PointsBet.com. If you haven't signed up with PointsBet, now is the perfect time. Awesome daily promos, odds boosters you won't find anywhere else, early payout promos, it's all at PointsBet.com, and you can bet from anywhere in New Jersey using your mobile device. And now PointsBet has a brand new offer for you, New Jersey, to welcome back football. Sign up using our promo code HOUSE. That's promo code HOUSE, HOUSE. And you'll receive a free $100 bonus with a deposit of $50. That's right, you deposit $50 and you'll be able to bet with $150. Football is back and PointsBet is the place to be. Remember, you deposit $50, you bet with $150. And make sure you use our promo code HOUSE to get this special sign-up offer. That's promo code HOUSE, HOUSE. PointsBet. Stay sharp. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Well, that'll do it for us this week. I'll see you next time on House of Cards.
Desert plain, you build a house of cards.